workplace trauma and workplace stress is basically any high level trigger or
Mhm,
stressor that occurs at work,
mhm,
right? So like if I mean every job could be stressful on some level,
right,
right? But if it's to the level that it impacts like your functioning,
mhm,
your energy levels,
mhm,
excuse me, beyond like your typical energy, but more so like your mental health,
right,
how you show up outside of work. So
right,
like how you show up to your family, how you show up for yourself,
right,
um, any dynamic at work that's negatively, like deeply negatively impacting your lifestyle
right.
and your sense of self.
So what's some common signs, right? Like that a black man may be experiencing that.
It can vary, and it's interesting because a lot of us mask it, right? So it's hard
Mhm,
to even see the signs. I would say obviously for everyone is it can be different. It can range from, again, back to how you show up outside of work,
right,
right? So like how you may come home to your family or to your loved ones,
right,
the energy that you bring home.
right,
It can affect even one thing I even in studying this topic, one thing that came up was even how people show up to work, right?
okay,
Like whether or not you show up to work on time.
mm,
Some people, and I used to be a high school teacher,
okay,
and some of the friends I made in my teaching career, they experienced this and shared with me
okay,
that they would they would get up on time, like they would wake up on time,
mhm,
but they would lay in bed and like delay starting their day because their job was so stressful, and so
mm,
they would get to work late because they would delay their start so much.
mm,
And that was due to workplace trauma. That was
mm,
due to racism that they would experience from like the administrations they were working with. Teaching jobs are stressful, so like challenges with students and things of
right,
that nature. So it can vary from how you started your day, the stress that you bring into your day, the stress
yeah,
that you bring home. I think identifying it at work is when if you have employees who may not be as present or engaged at
yeah,
their jobs.
yeah,
So that could be from the social side of things, like not showing up to maybe some of like the social events, whether they're happy hours or Christmas parties or what have you.
mhm,
It could be, really just not engaging with their work as much.
mhm,
Um, Sometimes that can be perceived as like antisocial, right?
yeah,
Or,
yeah,
uh, not wanting to be a part of the work culture of environment, but then
mhm,
also back to it's kind of like a cyclical um, dynamic
right,
because you can be identified as antisocial,
mhm.
but that could also be because of the stresses and the trauma at work that push you away from people.
Mm.
So there are a lot of pieces that can go into it,
Yeah.
but I think to bring it all back, a lot of the warning signs or indicators that someone is dealing with workplace trauma or workplace stress is if it negatively impacts their life in and outside of work.
Man, the reason why I was smiling when you were talking is because I literally felt seen. When you're
I was about
talking
to say it's
about
relatable.
yeah, I was like, damn, this is so relatable, bro. When you're talking about the social hours, bro,
Yeah.
please don't send me no work, social hour,
Yeah.
happy hour. And I
Yep.
don't want to see y'all after work, bro.
Right, right.
I don't, at 5:01 hits, the laptop is
Nah,
closed.
facts.
I'm good, bro.
Yep.
Don't hit me with no social hour. We playing a
Yep.
social event. We doing this scavenger hunt. This
Yeah,
we doing a
it's not
quiz game.
happening.
Like
Yep.
I'm good off of all of that,
But
bro.
this could be a contributor to workplace trauma too, is
Okay.
I think workplace cultures,
Okay.
right? Because if you're in a workplace, if you have a job that where you're the only black person
Right.
or there's a lack of representation and maybe even a lack of representation of people that you relate to because
Right.
hiring another black person doesn't mean that you're going to get along with them or that y'all may have like a similar cultural background.
Right.
So like even to that social aspect, that could also be a significant catalyst for
Yeah.
that too.
So workplace culture constitutes of multiple things.
Mhm.
It's the culture that leadership sets,
Right.
but then it's also the
It's a
culture
big
that
one.
your manager sets.
Manages everything, bro.
Right. There's two different cultures, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's a
Because
fact.
when you go on the company website, everybody's culture
Right,
sounds
right,
amazing.
right.
Everybody's
That's
culture.
a fact.
Oh, we're a growth mindset. We do
Yeah.
this, we do that. We want to take care of you.
Yep.
Unlimited time off.
Yeah.
Then you get the
Yeah.
job And then you realize unlimited time off really isn't unlimited time off.
Right.
It's when your manager decides
Right,
that
right.
he's comfortable or she's comfortable with
Yep.
you taking that time off. Growth mindset or like flexibility isn't really flexibility. It's when your
Yeah.
manager decides they want to implement that aspect of the
That's
culture
a fact.
that leadership is passing down. So really, there's two different types of cultures. There's a culture
Yeah.
that you see on a website, and then there's the culture that you experience as a result of the manager that you have.
Right.
And I think my
Right.
manager tries to do it. He does a good job with the culture for sure.
Mm.
But I think the problem that I sometimes see in my 9 to 5 is that
Yeah.
although he's doing a good job with the culture, because of all the other team that I'm interacting with and all the different cultures and stuff, it ends up just being like, yes, in our culture it's cool,
Right.
but because I have to interact with so many different teams and I have all these different they have all these different type of managerial styles and cultures
Yeah.
in their team, it leads to that workplace stress and that workplace trauma where I'm just like, you know what, bro, I don't even want to. I'm still gonna do my job. I'm still
Right.
gonna do it efficiently and do what I need to do. But I don't want to I don't want to be involved with anything.
Lack of engagement.
You know,
Beyond the basics.
right, exactly.